Okay guys, welcome to another edition of Poll Talk. Will be results of the poll, the weekend polls. Before I begin this, I'd like to remind everyone that that my polls are uploaded every Friday, and if you'd like to vote on the polls, you can go to my community tab and the poll will be uploaded on Friday. It's totally free. You don't even have to be subscribed to this channel to take part in the polls, but it would make me feel better if you would. But anyway, you don't have every weekend, every Friday. They're uploaded on my community tab, and I'm also open to comments or suggestions for future Poll Talk videos. So if you've got an idea of the Poll Talk, just leave me a suggestion. Anyway, on to the video. Today's video, I'm talking about the mini consoles. So how the mini console started out is whenever Nintendo launched the Wii U, that was something of a failure. The Wii U system didn't do as good as Nintendo had hoped. So to try to make more money, they started coming out with these little mini consoles. Now the first console that they came out with is the first one I'm going to show. It's this one, the NES Classic Edition. And on my poll, this one was ranked with 8%, and it was ranked in 4th place. And to me, that's kind of surprising. I thought that it would have been ranked a little bit higher. But anyway, it came pre-packaged with 30 games, and I'm not gonna read it. I'll read out some of them, but that's some of the ones that I enjoyed. You got the Super Mario Brothers trilogy here. You got Final Fantasy if you like your RPGs. Mega Man 2, that was a good one, and Ninja Gaiden there. But you've also got like a lot of ones that could have been like replaced, or like for example you have Balloon Fight and Bubble Bobble Donkey Kong, and I think Pac-Man is in here somewhere. Yeah, Pac-Man's on here. So a lot of these games, and of course I made a video on Pac-Man, you know my thoughts about Pac-Man. A lot of these games I think could have been replaced with other games. For example, Rygar. There's not a game of Rygar in here. Maniac Mansion could have been included. There's a lot of other games. So anyway, I'm gonna open this up and take a look at the console here. Okay, hold on. Like I say, this is very small in comparison to like the original NES here. You got your AV port back here, and this you can connect to a wall socket there. But the thing I wanted to see, one of the mistakes they made is look at how short this controller is here. If I can get some kind of see how short the controller is. You can't really do much with that. See, there it is. See, so you'd almost actually need an extension to be able to play this, unless you want to sit like 3 feet from the TV. I wouldn't recommend that, but my thoughts on this: it was a good system. It could have been a little bit better, but it was good for what it was. And these things were selling like hotcakes. You could barely get any of these. It was like the most requested item, or one of the most requested items that Nintendo put out. Made a lot of money. So this was the first one they came out with, the NES, and then shortly afterwards was the SNES Classic, On my poll, this was ranked the #1 favorite classic by people. This had a rating of 29%. And honestly, this is my favorite mini console as well. And I mean, just look at the games here. You got Mario World, Mario RPG. Well, if you like RPGs, there's Mario RPG, there's Earthbound, Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy 3. The only thing really missing in here is Chrono Trigger. And of course, you got Mario World and Yoshi's Island. You've got Donkey Kong Country in here, Super Punch Out, Street Fighter 2, probably like my personal favorite fighting game of all time. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Kirby's, okay, well, Kirby's Superstar here. And this is the one, my favorite Zelda game is on here, Legend of Zelda. And I've got a little story about that. Whenever I was a child, my grandma was a gamer. And she had a Super Nintendo. Her favorite game was Dr. Mario, but there's 2 Super Nintendo games I remember I would always play. One was a game called Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. If you've ever played that, that's a little bit funny. But the other one I used to always play, I have very good memories of this, The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. And so this game holds a significant place in my heart. But anyway, like I said, like I did with the other one, let's just take this out of the box and see what it looks like here. See, like I said, these things are very small. And okay, if you take this controller port out and this can close, and this is what it looks like. And you pop this out. This is where the controllers go here. And you can't put a game in here. This is just for decoration. And I probably should have done this with the NES, but just like with the NES, the power button turns it on and off, and the reset button brings you back to the home menu. And like I said, this pops out here. And, connects into there like that. And actually this time the cord's a little bit longer, but you might still want to get an extension just so you can sit a little further away from the TV. It's not good for your eyes to be right in front of the TV there. And unfortunately, these 2 systems, as I'm putting this back in the box, these 2 systems were the only mini consoles that Nintendo came out with. There was rumors at one time of there being an N64 Mini, but that quickly fell through, and I'll give my thoughts on that in a little bit. But one of the problems was the N64 controller. As small as these systems were, the controller would almost be bigger than the actual system itself. That would have been kind of funny to see. All right, there were also other systems that came out at about the same time, other mini systems. And one that I had on the poll was this one, the Sega Genesis Mini. This system came in 3rd place with 13% as of me recording. And I was always a Nintendo kid. I never really had a Genesis growing up, so I decided to pick this one up and see like the best of the best on seeing if it was worth it, seeing if what I missed out on. Actually, I mean, if you're a Genesis kid, of course it's worth it to you. But you know, here's the games here, if you can see there. And let's see, you know, me being an RPG fan, I go right to the Phantasy Star 4. Let's see what else we got in here. Columns I could do without. You got the Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy, part 1, 2, and 3, I believe. Or is 3 on here? Okay, I'm only seeing Sonic 1 and 2, and I see Sonic Spinball. I don't see part 3. Let's see, Monster World 4. That's a good one. Comic Zone. That's fun. That's kind of fun. Beyond Oasis. That's I played that one a little bit. That's has Ghosts and Goblins, which I think is actually better than the NES Ghosts and Goblins. Oh no, excuse, Ghouls and Ghosts. And Shining Force. I can't remember if this is part 1. I think this is part 1. Space Harrier 2. Streets of Rage. Yes. Streets of Rage was a good game. Oh no, excuse me. Streets of Rage 2. And oh yeah, it has, if you're a Mega Man fan, it has the Mega Man. This is like the Sega version of all 3 of the NES Mega Man, with all new remixed music and graphical updates. And Airform Gym is on here. I never really got into that one, but it's on there if you like it. Let's say here's y'all can see the listings there. I'm not gonna go over all of them. Castle of Illusion from Mickey Mouse, that's on here too. But oh yeah, let me take this out of the box to show you guys what this one looks like here. Okay, here's the controller, and I actually have an extension to this controller, so this extension is bigger. Here, okay, this is what the controller looks like. There's only like 3 buttons here, the start button, the D-pad here, and this one here, the Genesis, the Mini's in this little box here. I take very good care of my products here, so let me see here. And this is what the thing looks like. Right here, you got the on-off button. This is the reset that brings you back to the home menu. And oh, you see my cat in the back. I'm not sure if this actually increases. I never mess with this, but and like I don't think this can play games. I'm not sure. Never really tried that, but here's what the back looks like. The HDMI port and the power outlet here. And the reason why I don't have the power outlet connected, because I use the same power outlet for all of these games here. So I just switch them out whenever I feel like playing a new game. So let's just put this back in the box here. And okay. This controller back in here. All right, and the last option, well, I had 2 other options, but one was the PS1 and one was the other, but I'll get into the other one early. Last one is the PS1 Mini, and whenever it arrived, unfortunately it arrived with this big ugly white sticker on here, and you know, if I try to take it off, it will ruin the box. See, so I just left it on here, but anyway, this one was in second place. It shared second place with 25%. And actually, I'm surprised that this ranked so high, because when the PS1 Mini launched, I remember a lot of people were upset with it. There was like frame rate issues. There wasn't that good of a selection of games. Let me check out the games here. Like I say, you had some of the good ones. There was the original Grand Theft Auto. There's Final Fantasy VII, and where's that? Wild Arms, which I started playing Wild Arms. I really fell in love with this game, Wild Arms. So to me, I'm an RPG guy, so Wild Arms and Final Fantasy VII, these 2 games alone are worth the price of this. But other games that you might enjoy, there's, like I said, the original Grand Theft Auto, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil Directions Cut. There's Revelations Persona. I never played that one, so one of these days I'm gonna try that one out. And Cool Borders 2, if you're into that. Battle Arena Toshiden. Oh yeah, Rayman's in here. That's pretty cool. There's Tekken 3. Then you have like some weird games. There's like Mr. Driller, and Intelligent Cube, and Jumping Flash, which, you know, a lot of these games, you know, some of these games, they could be been replaced. Like, for example, there's no Crash Bandicoot, there's no Spyro. You know, you could have had, there's no Dino Crisis in here. You could have had Resident Evil 2 or 3, you know. And the other 3 systems have 4 save slots. This one only has 1 save slot per game. So I'm actually surprised that this game, this mini console ranked so high. So let's take it out of the box and see what it looks like here. And here's what it looks like. And once again, you got the HDMI port. And the other systems came with their own power outlet. You actually had to use one of your own power outlets, which is no big deal. I said the open button does nothing. It's just for display. The power button obviously turns it on, and the reset button brings you back to the home screen. And here's that one, and here's, of course, the controller here. So, yeah. Anyway. Let me just put this back in the box here. Oopsie. But yeah, I really love these little mini consoles. They're very convenient if you don't, if you're a retro gamer and you just want like a little sample variety of some older games. Okay, the last option I had on here was Other, and that also came in second place with 25%. And for the people who put in Other, I'm really interested in knowing which mini console was your favorite. I know there was a TurboGrafx 16 Mini. I think there was a SNK Mini. There may have been an Atari Mini. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. And I know there was another Mini. I forget what the system was, but it had like a little keyboard, which I don't know. That was kind of cool. I'm assuming it was like for text-based games. But yeah, for those of y'all who said any, just leave me a comment and tell me like which one was your favorite. Now then, whoa, almost dropped the phone. Whoa. These games. Now then, why? The reason why, like I say, this Nintendo, they came out with these 2 mini consoles, this one and the NES Mini, I believe, because the Wii U wasn't doing so well, so they had to make more profits somehow, so they just put a lot of their old games. And I think that there was actually a plan for them to continue this series. I could have easily saw them coming out with an NES Classic 2 or a SNES Classic 2, or maybe even expanded to like an N64 Mini. But then the Switch came along, and the Switch is probably one of their best-selling consoles of all time.